All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. I got my scuba gear ready. What are we diving into today?
Well, today's deep dive is taking us into the sometimes murky waters of investing.
Oh, interesting. Always a hot topic, especially now.
Right. Everyone wants to know how to make their money work for them. And we actually got some really interesting material from a listener about a particular investment platform. They're doing things a little differently.
Oh, I like different. Tell me more.
Okay, so this platform, their whole thing is long-term growth. They want to give people the tools to make smart decisions with their money, no matter their experience level. But get this, they said, and I quote, "We don't follow the traditional advice of splitting portfolios 80-20 or over-diversifying."
Whoa, hold on. Did I hear that right? No diversification.
Yeah,
It's pretty bold. Most folks are told diversification is like the golden rule of investing.
Right. It's
Yeah.
exactly what caught my eye. So I'm really curious to dig into this with you and see if it, actually holds water.
Absolutely. I think we need to unpack this because on the surface, it sounds almost like, well, asking for trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So where do we even start with this?
Well, let's start with their reasoning. They're all about what they call a concentrated, agile portfolio. They use this analogy of a sports team. You wouldn't want like 50 players all with the same skills, right?
Right. You need different players with different strengths.
Exactly. So they're saying instead of spreading your money super thin across tons of different things, focus on a smaller number of investments that you really truly get, companies you believe in.
So it's more about quality over quantity.
Exactly. And being able to adapt as the market changes, which is where the agile part comes in.
Okay, that's interesting. But I have to ask, doesn't that kind of go against the whole don't put all your eggs in one basket thing?
It does seem that way, right? But they're basically saying that by truly understanding a few key investments, you're actually in a better position to navigate market dips and seize opportunities for growth. They even suggest using options as part of this approach.
Options. Now those can get complicated fast.
True, but the gist is, options are financial instruments that give you more flexibility. You can use them to leverage your position, manage risk, things like that.
Okay, so it's about making more strategic choices, not just scattering your money around and hoping for the best.
Exactly. And speaking of strategy, they're big on the human element of investing too.
Oh, you mean like our emotions and stuff?
Exactly. They argue that while the market itself can be unpredictable, especially in the short term, human behavior is actually very predictable.
That's an interesting thought. You think about it, it makes sense. People panic when the market dips,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And that often leads to rash decisions, selling at a loss when they should maybe be holding or even buying. Fear and greed really get to people.
It's so true. So how does this platform help people avoid those emotional investing traps?
Knowledge and strategy. They emphasize really understanding your own risk tolerance. Like how much volatility can you stomach before you start hitting the panic button? And then having a plan. Knowing what you'll do in different market scenarios so you're not just reacting emotionally.
So you're not making decisions based on fear or, getting rich quick dreams.
Right. It's about taking the emotion out of it as much as possible and sticking to a well-thought-out plan.
It makes sense. But that's easier said than done, right? Our emotions are powerful.
Definitely. But that's why they focus so much on education. And it plays into the whole philosophy of not trying to beat the market.
There it is again. It feels like that goes against everything we usually hear. Isn't beating the market the goal? I mean, every financial advisor I see on TV is promising to help me do that.
It's a very common message, for
Yeah.
sure. But this platform argues that trying to time the market or chase those short-term wins is actually a recipe for, well, usually losing money in the long run.
Really, they'd rather people just focus on slow and steady growth.
It's more about sustainable growth, yeah.
Hmm.
They want people to focus on building a solid portfolio with companies they understand and believe in. They're playing the long game.
Interesting. It's a very different way of thinking about it. And it sounds like it ties into their emphasis on, actually taking control of your own financial future.
Absolutely. No handing your money over to some fund manager and hoping for the best. They want you to be an informed investor who understands where their money is going and why.
So it's really about empowering the individual investor.
Exactly. They believe everyone has the potential to be a savvy investor with the right tools and knowledge.
That's pretty cool, actually. And I think that's a good place for us to surface for a moment. So What do we learn today? It seems like this platform is all about understanding your financial goals, really researching your investments, and not letting your emotions run the show.
Spot on. It's definitely a different approach, and whether or not you agree with all of it, it makes you think, right?
It really does. And it makes you think about your own investing style and what's really important to you. So for everyone listening, here's a little something to ponder. If human behavior really is the most predictable part of the market, how can we, as individuals, become more aware of our own investing behaviors, good and bad? Because, let's be honest, we all have them.
That's a great question to leave people with.
Yeah.
It really makes you think.
Right. All right, everyone, another deep dive complete. Keep those interesting sources coming our way. Until next time.